Hello, this time I've decided to start YouTube first and set everything else up because, you know, I forgot yesterday. And this records everything for me so I can edit it later. But, setting this up, there's a whole shindig going on here. So now I'm about to go on to. I hope I shut that off. I'm going to go into TikTok and start my live. I feel like there's got to be more to this. I'm probably not realizing how this is all supposed to go when it comes to setting up everything. And just so that I don't have a problem with the sound, I'm going to put my earpiece in and get everything together. Okay. Now going on to Instagram. And I'm going live on Instagram. I'm going live on Instagram. I'm live on TikTok. And I'm hoping that people are hearing me on TikTok because I know that last time, yesterday, I had the problem. And let me turn up the volume just in case. People were like, I can't hear you. Can't hear anything. Oh, one last thing. I set things up with Telegram. I have to shift my head all the time because I have everything set up in a way where I have a screen here, I have a screen here, I have a screen there, and things get in the way. Okay. Go back. Let's see. Going live on here. Here we go. Uh-oh. All right. Be my friend. Be my friend now. Let's see what's going on. Hi, you guys that are joining me right now. Uh-oh. All right. Be my friend. Be my friend. Gosh darn it. Okay, is it live? Is it streaming? Nope. Uh-oh. All right. Be my friend. Be my friend. So now you can hear me echoing. Okay, is it live? Is it streaming? Mute on that. Nope. Uh-oh. All right. Be my friend. Be my friend. So now you can hear me echoing. Close this out. Okay, is it live? Is it streaming? So like torture. Nope. Uh-oh. All right. Be my friend. Okay, no. Be my friend. So now you can hear me echoing. And this okay, is it live? Is it streaming? So like torture. Nope. Quit that. Just quit it. All right. Huh. Somebody just sent me a voice message on Telegram. By the way, I'm on Telegram, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, and I'm on YouTube. So that you guys know, my name is Gigi Star, and I am about to get into this. This is just the beginning. I'm just trying to set things up correctly. Live stream started. Can you hear me on the live stream in Telegram? Live stream started. Can you hear me on the live stream in? It says I'm muted. Telegram. It says I'm muted. You guys, I'm like 5 minutes in here. Good luck. Thank you. Live stream started. That's nice. Can you hear me on the live stream? Stop. Good luck. I appreciate it. I'll tell you something. Starting all of these things, being somebody that is not a computer type of person, this is a whole new learning curve. Like you're learning, I'm learning a lot. And people might want to critique or whatever, but at least I'm going to get someplace with it. I'm not going to just sit here and be like, oh no, I'm afraid people are going to like criticize me for what I'm doing because I'm messing up. F it. I'm going to mess up, you guys. Bear with me. Growing pains. Growing pains. Hmm. Okay, am I doing this now? Okay. So the live stream started. What is this person saying? Um, okay. So anybody that's here, I'm really hoping that my hashtags are bringing you here because you guys are extremely interested in manifesting. If you are not here to talk about, deal with, that my hashtags are bringing you here because I'm still trying. If you guys are not here because, you're interested in manifesting, you're just here out of curiosity, hi, I welcome all questions. I like that name. Hi, how are you doing? David, hey, I am learning at this moment. You're seeing me go through my growing pains, and it's interesting. It's very interesting. Anybody in Telegram, can you send a message inside of the chat and let me know if you can hear what I'm saying? Please, if you guys are in Telegram. And for those of you that are in TikTok, can you guys hear me? Can I get a thumbs up from you guys so I know that I'm communicating with you guys? Somebody's communicating, somebody's understanding me because it's really, it really sucks when you're on here and you're just trying to talk and nobody is, first of all, interacting, and also when nobody's telling you that, I can't hear you. Okay, so Rachel, hey from Tennessee, you are worthy, powerful, and full of purpose. Just a reminder of encouragement. Well, thank you very much. Oh, Timothy gave me a thumbs up. That means you were hearing me. Thank you. Thank you. I really, you know what? Sometimes when you're on here, people just want to just look at you and they don't want to say anything. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Um, a pretty lady, very cute. Thank you very much. I did it just for you guys. Don't thank my mom and don't thank my dad. They had nothing to do with all this right now. I'm also conceited, I guess, right? No, I feel safe with her. I don't know why. You know what, Chase? Um, I appreciate that. I just happened to swipe into the live when you asked. You know what? I'm glad that you guys are interacting. Hi, Malika, bad boy, Badoy, Malika. Hi, how are you? Thanks for joining. Um, so I'm on here just talking about things with manifesting. Some of you guys come on here because you're swiping through. Some of you are on here hopefully because my hashtags worked and you're like, oh, somebody's talking about manifesting. I'm not doing tarot card readings, although I could. I'm not. And by the way, for those of you that are into manifesting and don't think that tarot card readings and all that sort of stuff are a part of it, you're slightly right because it's new. Oh, okay. Somebody's saying they can't figure out how to comment in the live. I think what has to happen is you have to go into here. I'm going to send a message. Hey, text here. Text here. There we go. You have to go into the live. So if you're into manifesting and you're also into tarot card readings, they go hand in hand. However, they have separated everything because like everything that's going on, it usually starts together and then it separates into like different chapters. So then you'll have a lot of people doing stuff with tarot card readings and not doing what it's supposed to be doing. They're like, people go to them with hopes that they can tell or foretell their future. Sometimes you go to readers and they're like, you can change all the stuff that I'm telling you. If you go to like some of the gypsies, sometimes they sound very mechanical, like they've just remembered the lines for what this card means and what that card means, and they'll tell you you can change your future. But then when they tell you things, it seems like as a matter of fact, like this is it, and you're doomed to this. So I would go for tarot card readings, and it would be most of the time about love, all the time, and they'd be like basically gloom and doom, gloom and doom, and there was never they were never telling you how you could fix it, except for if you did some sort of work, like you had to go do a spell or do this and this and this, and that's not going to help you. That's not going to help you. And a lot of times they themselves don't know the symbolism inside of the cards and how to interpret what's going on with them to help you get of the right mindset so that you're able to adjust your way of thinking to manifest the things that you want, because they have separated the tarot card readings from the laws of manifesting. And there are different laws of manifestation. There are 7 of them. And with these 7 principles, they help you get your mind right. Some people are very logical thinking and they think it's woo woo, as they should, because what's happened is it's been corrupted into a system of things that don't make sense, only because the people that are doing the card readings don't know the basis and how they are supposed to make sense and how it's supposed to fit logically into your regular life so that you can fix your frame of mind to get the things that you want. And I'm going to be extremely forthcoming and extremely honest about how this is all, how it all works. Um, readers, profits, and shares. Okay, wait a minute. You're inside of the wrong chat. I have to go into another chat. Kathy, if you can chat in it's the shift Neville Goddard, because that's where the live is going. You're in a whole other thing. You're in the group chat, and that's not even on. Wait a minute. Wait, so I went into the group chat. Wait, so go, let me send you a link so that you can go to this one. I think that you're a part of it. Share a link, copy. I have this move my head to the side because one of my cameras is inside of the way, so I'm not able to see it correctly. Go there. So I'm going to read what you said. Readers, profits, and sharers. Either you're operating from spirit or you're not. My opinion. Thanks much. Thanks much. Not and nothing wrong with being your cute self. Oh, well, thank you very much. Very kind. So go into the other chat room because I'm going back in there, and chat in here and text in there. I spelled text wrong. Text. Boom. There we go. Okay. So yeah, all these things are first of all, I'm multitasking, you guys. So if I'm like all over the place, it's because I've got 1, 2, and 3 cameras on and dealing with different platforms and people's comments. So hey, bear with me. I'm still in the beginning phases. I'm still learning. I'm still working on how to do these things. And for some reason, these platforms, they don't want to like combine them all together. Like TikTok does not allow you to go, I'm using StreamYard right now. They don't allow you to use that unless you have a side key. They haven't given me a side key, although I'm supposed to have a side key. It's like, so bear with me. So yeah, when you're getting these readings, usually you're in a state of emotional imbalance, you're afraid, and that's how things get out of control. People bank on your fear because when you're fearful, you're able to not think straight and work from a place of emotion and make unwise decisions. And when you're working from unwise decisions, that's how they get you. Then you find yourself wearing 2 and 3 masks. And you find yourself doing stuff that's a bit like, what? And yes, I said that. I said what I said. So when you go to the readers, they will not know how to help you get into the right mindset, because that's part of manifesting has been omitted from the tarot card readings, although they're supposed to be a part of the tarot card readings. When I would give readings, At first, I didn't know anything about these laws. And then when I started to learn about the laws, I'd be able to see what's going on, because a lot of times people can't see for themselves what's going on. They're afraid. They're afraid of a whole lot of stuff. And so they just um, blank out their emotions. They blank out a lot of things, and they're not able to know what they're hiding from. They sit in denial, and denial is not only a river in Africa. And when you go to the readers now, they're not picking that up, and they're not able to tell you what you need to do to adjust. So I've given, for example, readings to people when I started to learn more about manifesting and being able to see, oh, okay, you have a hurt here. This is what's going on. Because, sometimes they don't even, I'm fine, everything is great. And you're like, there's something going on, because these cards here telling me you are sorrowful about something. I remember one of the last ones I gave was a woman that was trying to conceive. She was having problems with a baby. She had a loss. And I read it in the cards, and then I started to talk to her about it. And then I was like, okay, I don't need these cards anymore. Let me tell you what you can do to help yourself get to the right mindset to get what you're actually after. And then it turns into a whole other conversation, and it helps the person get their mindset correct, feel better about what their process is, feel like they have more control, recognize where they're having faults in their mind process, and work towards that. So that's what I started to do when it became, dealing with the cards. After a while, you start to recognize that you really don't need to deal with the cards. You just need to listen to the person and then ask the right questions. And depending on how sensitive they are, sometimes simple questions can be extremely offensive. Like, well, why are you with this person for 4 years and, just hooking up? Like, what? Why wouldn't you want to do more? And no, because, and then they get upset. You're like, okay, I'm sorry. Then they start to adjust themselves. Eventually, they'll usually come back and like, yeah, I actually want to have a relationship, and I want this person to step up to the plate. And then in your mind, you're just like, well, that's what we were going over before, but you were very offended about it when I first brought it up, because nobody really wants to hear, you know, things wants to see things brought to light, especially when they're going through it. And they also don't want to acknowledge it. And trust me, I have that. Everybody has that. Um, Dealing with teaching and coaching about manifestation, um, I learn constantly about myself, and how I'm being reflected back to me, to my own self. Good morning, Rick. How are ya? I'm glad you said something. Um, so yeah, I'm going on and on about manifestation. Fine, thanks. Do you do anything with manifestation? Or do you know anything about manifestation? What brings you here? Were you just swiping through? Um, by the way, if you are like into frivolous conversation, I can do that. Trust me. Trust me. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm talking about stuff with manifestation. And sometimes people are like, oh, this is boring. I don't really want to deal with this. I want to go. So somebody with boobs and stuff. Let me see something more entertaining. Go, be you, boo boo. Do what you need to do. Um, I was watching something about there's like the red pill movement with men. Yeah, swiping through and just stopped and, well, hi, thank you for stopping in. So I was watching some stuff about, red pill, and the red pill thing is very interesting. Um, hey, daily reminder, you love me. Well, um, thank you. When red pill men talk, you hear stuff. When feminist women talk, you hear stuff. And they are two sides of the same coin. And it's very interesting. It's extremely interesting when you hear how there are people that are hell bent on, I'll never get married because it's not beneficial for me to get married. And this is like men saying this with the red pill. And then they want to do other things like buy a house, when it's like they're usually turned off from marriage because they feel like, the woman get all these things, and they themselves, they're most likely to fail. But that's a terrible mindset. That's a terrible mindset to have. When you have these type of feelings of lack, those are manifestations, and you're going to attract the very type of woman that you do not want. Same thing goes with feminists. How? How is it a terrible mindset to think that all women or marriage or all men or relationships are terrible? Because you're seeing it from perspective of no hope, no chance, no nothing. What is the point? What is the why? Like, I remember having conversations with some men, and they were like, yeah, marriage this and woman this and this and this. And then I was like, anybody that has a house, that bought a house? They're like, yeah. I said, you know how many people lose their house a year? How many people lose everything? How devastating it is to have a house and lose everything that you invested in it. And they're like, yeah, it's pretty hard. And you can go bankrupt and all that sort of stuff. It's like, but I still never hear anybody say, don't buy a house. It's terrible. It's terrifying. You don't want to do any of that. It's not the way to go. All houses are evil. They're still striving to go for the house. They're still like, you know what? I don't think those people that lost their house were managing their money correctly. They weren't doing the things that they needed to do. They could have done better. And I'm going to see, the little pitfalls that they had and improve myself so that I don't have to have that problem. They still go and get the house. But when it comes to relationships, they're like, no way. But it's only because of the fear that's inside of them, because it's very hard. Relationships can be hard. Statistically, I think you're saying marriages are failing at a drastic rate. Okay, so when it comes to the statistics, they said that 50% of marriages or ending up in divorce. That was never a confirmed statistic. There's just hearsay, and people just run with it, especially people that are fear based. There's less people getting divorced than that. And I think what's happening is they just want to run with this strategy of don't do any of these things. But statistically, men do a lot better when they are married. When they're in relationships, they do a lot better. You gain more money. Getting married is out of style, mamas. No, no, no. You know what's out of style? Being polite, right? Being polite and understanding that as a woman, you're dealing with a man, and as a man, you're dealing with a woman. And also, people growing up. There's a lot of grown man babies and grown woman babies that they're physically grown up, but mentally they are not there. And sometimes people just want to downgrade and degrade whatever just because they want it to fit into their idea. Somebody came on here the other day and was like, you look like you do girly squats. And it's like, do you know me? I can't do girly squats. Do you want to know why? Because I had bone cancer and I have a metal rod and a knee replacement. Depressing, yes, I know, but I'm being honest with you. And I do beat the odds of statistics in his mind, but they don't take the time out to recognize things and that people are individuals. And, they just want to run off of this fear, which means when I hear a man talk like that, they usually are inside of their feminine, and it's very off-putting. And then when they talk about women a certain way, you're just like, wow, who wants to talk to you? You sound terrible. Same thing goes with women. When I've heard women say, all men are this way, all men lie, all this. They don't have any feelings. Where are you getting this from? That sounds ridiculous. Of course they have feelings. Of course they have stuff that's going on. You can't sit there and say every single man is a liar and a cheater. That is just dismal. That's a dismal way of thinking. Most families in my neighborhoods were married couples with and without children. Hi, K-Free. Thank you. I guess the other one wasn't working as well. Thank you. Yeah, that's. I think that's a lot of the stuff that's going on with statistics and all that sort of stuff is based off of New York, the big cities. Big cities I just moved from one. You don't really want to do that. So I'm guessing you're an anomaly. Laugh my. I'm not saying that. You can say whatever, but you also sound very critical about things. So I guess if we sat down and have a conversation, I've met men that you have conversations with, and they will try their best to be like, no, you just I gotta find some fault in you. There's gotta be a fault. Just why are you looking for the bad? And also, that's a form of manifestation. You're going to draw in that type of stuff, and you're going to find some sort of pitfall just so that you can prove a point within yourself. And most of the time, you're not. I remember I dated this guy that he just felt like he knew everything. He just looked at me and was like, "Oh, let me guess. You went to college, but you only did some courses. You only did some courses. You never graduated. You got a kid." No, no, actually, I don't have children, and I did graduate. I graduated and had a degree. What? You graduated? Yeah, I graduated. I went and stuck it out, and I got a degree. So what now? What does that fit what you're saying? Okay. Everyone has the potential to cheat, divorce, take the car, kids, cat, dog, and house, and that's what most of us guys are afraid of. The key word is most guys. Most of us guys are afraid of. Please listen to your words. Most guys. Basically, you're comparing yourself to a bunch of people who are fear based. And that means you are not grabbing onto chutzpah, grit, and guts. And that is telling me a whole lot about the stories you tell yourself in your head. Don't look at statistics. You don't want to be basic. You want to beat the odds. You don't even want to focus on the odds. You want to focus on what you desire. If there are women inside of your life that are cheaters, like you said, cheat, take the car, kids. If those are the type of women, you can look at these traits that are inside of some of these women and be like, I don't like how you're talking and what you're doing. It's very unattractive. And you galang, which means go along. You move. You don't deal with that person. You don't want to deal with that person. That person is not what you want. And you have to have bravery enough to say, I'm not settling on this type of person. This is not what I'm going to do. Do you know how many things that I have done in my life that are terrifying? People say, you will never be able to do it. It's not going to happen. The statistics don't pan out that way. And I'm like, I don't care what any of you are saying. And I put my blinders on and I succeed. And they're like, well, somebody said, you're an anomaly. Okay, if you want to say that, or maybe you can just say that I'm just not fear based and I have grit and I have a belief that I can do something and I can achieve something and I focus my mind on the things that I want. When you're dealing with manifestations and you're having problems inside of your mind and your mind wants to go into the negative and what people are saying that are, statistics, you have to say, I beat statistics. I am not somebody that's going to deal with that. I'm going to focus on what I am wanting, and there's ways and methods that you're supposed to do this. This is not just some sort of I'm hoping. No, there's no such thing as luck. Luck is a name given to a law that's not understood. These are universal laws. Okay, let me see what you're saying. Oh, somebody shared. Thank you, you guys. If you guys like what I'm saying, yeah, sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm massacring your name. Yeah, Poppy Ho. um if you like what I'm saying and you recognize that there might be a little bit something different than what I'm saying, feel free to please share it and recognize it. Recognize that there you've come across somebody that's having a little different mindset than what you're accustomed to. Okay. You're an older woman, I'm Gen Z, these are different women. No, that's an excuse. That's an excuse. You're making an excuse and you're still clinging on to your fears. I'm gonna read back to you what you just said. What most of us guys are afraid of. You're putting yourself in the group of fearful based men. Don't do that to yourself. You're cheating yourself. Okay. Oh, thank you, Al. You're an older woman. Okay, let me see what else you said. Are you married? No, I'm not married. I'm not married, and not it's not because I choose to sit there and be like, I don't like men. Da, 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 da. It's no, actually, I've had a very hard dealings with my health. I had bone cancer and had lung cancer, and have had most of my life in and out of the hospitals. You know what I mean? And when you spend most of your life in the hospital, you tend not to get out and date much. And I'm not much of a dater. I don't like dating. I think dating is a thing for people that don't know what they want. Plus, guys don't really like cancer chicks. It's not a thing. You seem fit and friendly. I hope you find a husband. That is very kind, and I really appreciate that. That's actually a sweet, sweet thing to say, actually. Really nice. And also, it shows a good side inside of you that makes you see, huh. And I'm hoping that what I said to you will, first of all, if you're in a neighborhood where you have a woman that are basically the same way, get out of that neighborhood. Get out, venture out, find something else, because not everybody's going to be the same way. When you get out of your area and you go into different areas, you see there's a whole shift in mindsets, totally different. And I encourage that. I've traveled, I've done all these things, and you see how people think where you are versus where you're not from. I remember going to Seattle, Washington, and they're very different about jaywalking than they are inside of New York. New York, they're just like, there's nobody here, let's go. Right? Jaywalking in Seattle, I was like, let's go. They're like, no, 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 you might get a ticket. What? Now, maybe somebody was joking with me, but there was this girl was like, yeah, one of our friends got a ticket and for jaywalking, and the police officer was like, "You must be from New York." She's like, "How did you know?" It's like, because she was arguing back, like, "This is ridiculous. You can't." You know, when I've traveled and I've gone across seas, dealing with different forms of entering into different countries, there's a different way that they handle things that versus what TSA does over here. I don't remember what the names are over inside of Europe, but they handle things way different. And you cannot come with your mindset from where you are to this new place and expect everybody to be and cater and act the same way that that you are accustomed to. When in Rome, it does not. It's not a thing that you just say. It's actually, you have to be very observant and be respectful and recognize that you go to Vermont, people's lights are off around 8, 9 o'clock. They're not up the same way like if you go into New York City where the city never sleeps. You're just like, oh my God. It's kind of hard to find fit, friendly women. Oh, that's really sweet, like you, to be honest. And when I do see them, they're either married or pregnant kids. And okay, so I understand that. But it's another lack type of mentality. And recognize results. You're seeing them. You're actually talking to somebody that you have just said friendly and fit is what you see me as in this very moment. See that as, ooh, I am actually talking to one of these people. I could possibly attract more of this type of energy in my life. Let me see what else. Where do these women hang out? What kind of stuff are they doing? Do they read? I love reading. Do they do other things other than what I'm accustomed to? Well, black women. Then if you don't want to deal with black women, then deal with whoever. First of all, this race thing is a social construct, and they'll have you believe all sorts of stuff. But when you leave from where you are and you start talking to people, you start to recognize, you know what? These things that they're saying ain't shit. It's not real. It's not real. Um, and then you start to recognize you've been holding yourself back because of what somebody has said and not what you've actually experienced for yourself and know to be true. May Yahweh bless you and yours. Thank you, Yahweh. I'm still learning about stuff when it comes to manifesting. Jod He Vav He is the name of Jesus, right? But it means something else than what people believe about religions believe about Jesus versus what has actually been. Those things are some of the stuff that I address in my manifestation 101 class. That's free, you guys. All the stuff that I'm doing right now is just free. I'm just talking to you guys. Um, there's different aspects that are tied into mindsets that you will have, and exemplify. And when you do these types of stuff, you start to recognize what you're pulling in and who you're attracting and what's going on, and what Yod Hey Vav Hey actually means. I am that I am. And even the inflection, I guess. I am that I am. You think it's, oh, I am that I am. Sounds like some sort of, oh, I have nothing but everything all at the same time. And it's kind of saying that, but it's moreover like, I am right here in front of you, sitting before you as a person desiring to do something else. By the way, 11:11, it's 11:11, just looked up, it's 11:11 again. Every single day I've done this so far, I keep going on to talking, and then there's 11:11. So let me go back to what I was saying. It's saying, I am, as I sit here before you, this person desiring to be this next person, that person over there, that one which I'm projecting in my mind to be. And your mind is a time traveler. Your mind is always traveling. You have an argument with a woman, ja papi. If you're having an argument with a woman, in your mind, you're going back into something that happened that really annoyed you with this woman. um, Respect that. Understand that's your power. You can go in a fantasy and think positive things about the relationship with that woman, or you can think about it in a negative way. It's up to you. You choose. You choose however you do it. Okay. But when you're saying that, oh, I am, you're projecting yourself into a future self that you desire to be. So I am sitting before you, this person desiring to be that person over there. But now I'm just putting in my mind, I'm that person, and you're embodying it. And how do you embody it? When you're sitting there and you're arguing and being upset and reflecting upon an argument you have with this person, and you're like, these bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks, right? In your mind, you're going into that. You're doing that same thing, but not against you. Because when you're thinking negative thoughts about the opposite sex, you're going against yourself. So you're going to project yourself into that person that actually has identified, found the person that you actually want to be with, and have attached in a very beautiful way. And you're saying, I'm that person. That's what I am. And then it feels good when you're doing it correctly. If you're having struggle to connect with that person that you desire to be, there are blocks within inside of yourself that you need to work out. And not go into, oh, how do I fix these things? It's terrible. I got to do the dark shadow of the night, and I have to do all these. Blah, blah, blah. No, no. Especially if you're a guy, you might want to be like more of a logical mind thinking. Why would I think that? Why am I thinking this? And you would say, well, because when I was younger, I was rejected by my mother, or I had these incidents with women, and I've seen all these terrible things. And then you're like, well, I encountered Gigi Star, and she's a bit different than what I've said, and she brought things to my mind that made me think and reflect something different. So maybe I might have to loosen up on that, because to be like, oh, she's an anomaly. It's like, nah, no, there's other ones, because you also said, I have met other women, they seem to be taken. Now I'm going to change that. I'm going to change it and be like, I meet available women that are exactly in this way and manner that I want to be. I want them to be. And they don't have to be the same color as you. For the love of God, stop looking at the color of people. It is a waste of time. It is such a waste of time. I'll tell you something. For me, growing up, some of the worst encounters that I've had were people that share the same skin tone as I have. They have been the meanest to me, the meanest. And you're like, damn, well, what? I, uh, I don't understand this. So it's moreover, you need to be focused on the energy that the person is giving out versus what color. Skin folk ain't always kinfolk. It's not a saying that you just say, if that makes sense. Anybody agree with what I'm saying? Can you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Like, I really want to hear or see some sort of interaction to know if you're following me. If you have some pushback, please let me know. If there's anything that's going on that you're just kind of like, I don't know if I totally agree with this, and give me the reasons why so we can work through it. Communicate, talk, and be like, yeah, I totally get it. Um, there was a guy that I remember having a conversation with, um, because sometimes some women, they don't have they're not really great at expressing themselves correctly. There was a guy that, like, at my job, that was giving women chocolates. Some some petty Betty, a guy, complained and was like, "You can't do that. They're not giving all the men chocolates." Is because he doesn't like men. He likes ladies. He doesn't want to give you chocolates. That's going to be a whole other level, and it's sending off a message that they don't want to do that. Yeah, skin folk ain't kinfolk. Exactly. Yeah, it's true. So, um, they were complaining enough that that person had to stop doing it. And this girl was like, "Well, I don't think that should have been right. And we're a woman and we deserve to have these things." And so the guy was like, "Oh, that's not even right. That's wrong that they're doing that. And I think that if you're not giving it to the woman, then you shouldn't give it to anybody." And I was like, "No, I can understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I don't believe that it's right, but I agree with the guy. I don't believe it's right." But the woman did not have a really great way of expressing herself. Um, and it was like, yeah, he's going to have to stop giving the chocolates because it was a hater. "If you're not giving all the guys chocolates too, nobody gets any chocolates. Nah, destroying the party. You can't have it. I can't either. And if I can't have it, you can't have it. I want chocolates. I like chocolates. What about my chocolates? Can I get a Hershey's Kiss?" It's like, all right, smash the party. Shoot up the place. Do it. Nobody, I can't have fun, then you can't have fun. I get it, but eh. But I agreed with the guy, and but I still liked the chocolates. But who, you know, you can live without the chocolates. They put too much sugar in that anyway. They put too much stuff in the chocolates that they shouldn't be putting in there in the first place. Um, but my point was that the women were not able to. Hey, hey, Caleb, sorry, the artist. The women were not able to express themselves correctly, and because feminism seems to be pushed along the lines, and everybody seems to think that everybody that's into whatever are feminists, then everybody just kind of has to go along with things. And I'll tell you right now, most of the women that I know are not feminists and don't want anything to do with it. And then some guys like, "Well, you should have equal everything then, because feminist, you're a feminist." It's like, you are assuming all the way. TikTok is not letting me say certain things. I don't know. So then put like little be crafty when you're putting your stuff. Use innuendo. I don't think people use that too much. Use innuendo if you need to, or put little words with if there should be an I, so put an exclamation mark. Be crafty. See, when you have obstacles inside of your life, you don't submit to the obstacles. You figure out a way around it. You don't submit to things that you do not desire. You figure out how to go around it. That is chutzpah. You know how many times I've had obstacles in my face and it was like, "Oh, there's no use." I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna figure out another way. There's another word to express what I need to say. There's another way I can go around it. I'm going to get what I desire. Where do you find women like you? Definitely not in the bar. I'm not in a bar. Alcohol, I mean, I like whiskey. I do like whiskey. I do. I like whiskey. But I'm not like, after I leave here, I'm gonna go to an aquarium. I like sea life, marine life. I went to Hawaii and got to hold, and I went to an octopus farm. I go to places like that. I want to go to the planetarium. I want to go places where there's people talking about things that I like. Um, Discovering different types of diets. I just discovered the carnivore diet. Um, and I want to meet people that are into carnivore. I did stuff with veganism, found out that that's not working for me. It doesn't help with my gut. It's not really good because of the oxalates. I'm going to those type of places. I'm not going online. Stay off of the internet, for the love of God. Please stay off of the internet. Do not do those dating apps. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just let me repeat myself. Don't do it. It's not good. It's not worth it. "Oh, wait a minute. Some of my friends, they found somebody." How much shit did they have to pile through in order to do that? That's just too much. No, you look for your interests, things that you like. If you like sports, there's probably going to be some woman that's going to like sports, but then get more into the sports, get more into the different things, different aspects of it. You want to learn how to dance, you're afraid to dance, you figure out how to get past that fear. um, Go to salsa class. You know how many times I've gone and there's like a woman to have to dance with another woman because there's no men. Get past your fear of dancing if that's the case. Okay, wait, somebody said something. Being open minded goes a long way. Doesn't mean you accept everything like you said. Exactly. There's things that happen that pop up in your face, and people will say, "This is it. This is just how it is. Stonewall. You cannot do it." You're like, "All right, I got you. I'm gonna figure out another way because I don't care what you're telling me. I cannot tell you how many times I have encountered obstacles, but that's because I usually think in a certain way outside of the box where I'm like, I don't like hearing that this is just the way it is and accept it. That means that's a fear that people are not willing to work around. And I want to find the people that have worked around it and engage in those type of people. Okay, let me see what you're saying. Dating apps. Stay off the dating apps, please. Yeah, Poppy Ho. You know what? If you can explain your name, if am I, can you separate it in a way so that I can make sure that I'm pronouncing your name correctly? Because I see, I don't really want to, this. I don't really want to mispronounce your name, but I'm thinking Ja Papi Ho. It doesn't. It's not. I don't understand it. Please explain it to me. Hi, John from New Jersey. Hey, John. Hey, how are you? John Peroni. Sounds really Italian. Peroni. I like it. Um, so you guys, it's coming up on an hour. This is my backup account. Okay, but what does it mean? Can you like I know it's your backup account. See, this is on my on my this is Gigi Star, you know, because I don't want anybody to come out of their face and call me the wrong name because I like my name. My real name is Regina. My name means reigning queen. My father named me that. He always, my mom's like, your father names you Regina. My dad's like, I likes the name. I don't know why, but he likes the name. Um, but I don't like people pronouncing or miss just anything with my name because a name within yourself carries a lot of power, and you need to have a lot more respect for what you tie yourself with. Okay. There's numbers that are associated with your names. This is where numerology comes in, but then it seems like woo woo again because the wrong people explaining what's going on has taken over with many things, and it just kind of just doesn't make sense. Um, I don't know. I was being funny. That's all. Well, does it feel good? I mean, does it feel good? Like right now, listening to you, I would love for you to join my manifestation one-on-one class and just have a conversation. Like seriously, like I'm dead serious. I've had people come off of TikTok and join me on my Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and come into my manifestation one-on-one class where I break things down. I have a presentation. There's somebody in here that's inside of that comes to that often. You can tell them, please. And have conversations because people don't really communicate too much when it comes to anything. And when it comes to manifestation, there's a whole lot of mystery that's behind it. Your regular life has everything to do with manifestations. Psychology has a lot to do with manifestation, and what you draw into your life. Do you feel good? Do you feel good when I call what for what? When I'm like for what? Like, what do you mean? With my name, Gigi Star? I call myself Gigi Star because I used to have, well, I still have Star of David, and they'd always be like, "The girl with the star, the girl with the star." Um, so, and I always like stuff with the sun and moon and all that kind of stuff, and the Star of David always was something that connected to me, and I never understood why until I spoke to my grandmother. I found out that she was Jewish, and then was disowned, and then converted, and I was like, I was always fascinated with all things Jewish as a little girl. Don't know why, didn't know why. when Christmas would come around, we'd see like a lot of, because my grandmother was biracial, see a lot of like Jewish things, and I just thought it was because she had Jewish friends. Never knew. Anyways, I didn't tell you what. Tell me what. Please ask me correctly. Or not correctly. Ask me in another way because I'm not understanding the comment that you're saying. Oh, where I did tell you. I did tell you where to find them. I told you not the dating apps. I told you where not to find them, and I told you to go to the places where you like to be. And if you don't know where you like to be, then that's another thing. Okay? So if you like golf, go and find out about golf. Oh, but there's no golf places around me. Find out where you can find something about it, right? And then you'll meet different types of people. You might meet more men there, but then those men will have different types of women around them. And then you'll be able to encounter the type of woman that you desire to be with, that may be like, I actually came here because I really wanted to be brave and try to learn something about golf. And then you guys meet. Do you get what I mean? Do you like to draw? Go to an art class. Do something. I said salsa. Remember I said dance? Um, I didn't say. I see. You're not listening. You said you recommended bookstores. Never said that. I recommended going salsa dancing. I remember I saying that there was a lot of women that needed a male partner. Sometimes men are afraid to dance because they feel ashamed. You know, they have two left feet. But getting past those fears, go to the thing that you're afraid of. Go towards the thing that you're afraid of, because I'm listening or I'm reading back all the things that you are talking about, and there seems to be a lot of fear that's going on with inside of you, which will keep you from the woman that you want, or the kind of woman that you want. First thing you got to do is get past the fears, and that's not comfortable. It's not at all. You're going to have to really do a lot of introspection, and when you do this, you'll soften yourself up in a way that's going to be attractive to women. And I'm not saying soft like, where you're going to be, what do they call them, incel. I'm not saying that. You're not going to be something that you don't like. You're going to start turning yourself into, you know what, I actually like myself. I like the fact that I had the guts to do something that I thought was this one way, and I wanted to see a different perspective, and I plowed through it, and I changed my way, and I'm happy with that. I really like that. I mentioned going to the planetarium. I like that type of stuff. I love the planet. I love the planetarium. I love it. I love stuff with this. Here's I've seen this before. Fun fact: did you know that gold is not of this earth? It's not made from anything on Earth. It comes from asteroids that hit the Earth's surface millions of years ago, so, or eons. I don't know. Um, you know, find women that are into that, if that's what you're into. If that's not what you're into, then don't do it. If you're not a reader, okay, what are you into? And don't say most guys, because now you're on a whole other territory. You don't want to be most guys. That's basic. You're not trying to be basic. And then keep in mind, once you expand yourself, you don't want to be dismissive of people. You actually, oh, I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you. Said thank you, Gigi Star. That is so sweet. Actually, I feel tingly. Thank you. You made my day. So yeah, you really want to get past these fears, because these fears are holding you back. They're constipating you. You're becoming spiritually constipated, and it's not fun. It is not fun. Explore yourself. And when you do these things, you will find by default the right people and the right type of woman. And you want to be able to have conversations with these women. Women are not only just for sleeping with and that sort of stuff. You want to have first of all, if you want to have kids, you want to make sure that the woman raising your kids has a mindset that you want your daughter or your son to grow up with. You get what I mean? You want to be very strategic about this. You don't want to have a fear-based woman either. Oh, all men ain't shit. Why are you talking to that woman? She sounds icky. She sounds terrible. She sounds defeatist. No, she's not looking past anything. I remember one time I went to DR. This lady, she had a Brazilian done. It was very obvious because of the whole donut that she had to sit on, and she was young and had to come on the aircraft on a wheelchair. and she was like worried about having to get a ride, or get her wheelchair back. And I was like, oh, I'm sure they're going to give you your wheelchair when you get to the next destination. And when she when I asked her, I was like, well, will your husband do something like with this thing? And she was like, haha, my husband's too stupid. He's not going to know how to do anything. And I was like, why would you marry a man that you're so with this woman? And then I thought, this man got this woman that got this Brazilian butt lift, who obviously does not have any sort of self-worth or confidence within herself because she has to alter her body in this type of way. Am I judging? Yes, because of how she was acting about her husband. It was disgusting how she said, my husband is too stupid. Why would you marry a man that you don't feel like you can have an intellectual conversation with? That's crazy. What do you think body count matters? Wait, do you think body count matters? I'm going to tell you this honestly. Honestly. When man or woman, both of them, when they're sleeping with too much people, I am not really thrilled about it. I'm not, and I'm not talking just women, I'm talking about men too, okay? Because there's no discipline there. And you want to really be aware of where this person's mindset is. People are like, well, instinctually, men are supposed to sleep around. There's supposed to be a thing that goes on. It's called growing up. And if you haven't gotten to that point, you just become a grown man baby sleeping around with people. There's a lot of men that are like, oh, they want a younger woman, whatever. When I was younger, the men that would come to me and approach me, I was disgusted by them because I was like, ew, you're old. And I know this is almost pedophilic because I looked even younger for my age, for what my age was. But there's no self-control and no self-worth. I remember, okay, yes, I used to be a bartender, and I met this guy. He would come into the bar, and it wasn't ever anything romantic. I was like therapist, and he was telling me he was getting a divorce. And I said, when did you realize you were having problems with your marriage? And he says, when I recognized that I was falling in love with every woman that I met. And I was like, oh, so he cheated, right? And I was like, you know what? The more and more I talk to you, you sound like a man that has a hole inside of your soul, and you're actually sleeping with women to help compensate. You almost sound like a person that was molested. And did I hit it? Boom! He was like, I was in foster care, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on in there that you would never believe. And I was like, there's the problem. Sometimes I hear women, there's something of this girl, she was a rapper talking about, like, it was WAP. They were going over it, that song WAP, and she was talking, and she's this empowerment for women. Didn't I listen to this woman? I was like, she sounds like she was raped. And she was. She was. And it was like, don't be fooled by what people say. People want to put on a brave face, but they're not really being brave. Is there such thing as too much experience? Is there such a thing as too much experience? I don't understand that. In what context? It isn't like, okay, sometimes people can be know-it-alls, and they block themselves from knowing other things because they think they know it all. When it comes to manifesting, I don't know it all. I'm teaching all the stuff that I'm teaching, but I don't know it all. I don't. There's too much. Too much. The more I learn, the more I realize I don't know anything. Okay? So I don't think there's such thing as no as too much experience. I think there is a thing as people just feeling like they have all these this knowledge, but they just blocked themselves off from the truth. And then they kind of lack growth. So if you're talking in that way, no, no. But if you're talking in, because you're saying body count, that was the first question you asked. um Too much experience sexually, I think sometimes there can be a perversion that goes on where there can be a perversion, and jadedness comes with it. um there was a girl, I remember, she was a beautiful girl. um she was very hard. She was very hard. Um, she said most people have HPV anyway. And I was like, no. Most people have some sort of what is it? Herpes. And I was like, what people are you? Who are you hanging out with? What are you doing? They want to act like they know. Like, you don't know any of these things. You should know. Jaded, not open. That's what I think. Okay, you guys, it's 11:35 and my Instagram is about to shut off, and because I have only like an hour or so, and I have things to do today. And look out for my videos. I'm trying to edit these videos that I do for the live. I have a YouTube page. It's The Shift. I have Instagram and TikTok, obviously. They're all It's The Shift with Gigi Star. My website, if you want to find out more about me, is itstheshift.com. And I have these lives that I do 10:30 in the morning. I start and talk for about an hour about manifestation. Thank you so much, Kathy. She's like, you're so cool. Thank you so much. And I love to have you guys come on, talk to me, ask me questions about manifestation and all the stuff that I spoke about. Although it doesn't seem like it's about manifestation, it is very much so. Yeah, Poppy, please come join me again. Like I said, and please, I'm inviting you to come to my manifestation one-on-one class. I would love for you to come in, talk, have a conversation with me. I think that because you sat here and you were inquisitive enough to listen to me and go back and forth with like some sort of banter, that you might really enjoy the class and it might help change your life. That's what I'm really working towards, helping people make changes, not to complain, but actually have solutions. Thank you guys. Thank you for coming and joining me. I will catch you guys later. Now I got to go through the process of shutting everything off. Bye, TikTok. And now, bye, Instagram. Oh, no, they've ended the live. Oh, no. And bye, YouTube.